When you ask for better in your life, expect for your current reality to fall apart. I hope you're doing well today. I'm Bree, I'm almost 24, and I am on a growth journey to become the best version of myself. In the previous videos, we talked about manifestation and letting go. Today, I'm focusing on letting go in a different kind of aspect. We talked about letting go in the sense of what it looks like and focusing on what it feels like, but there's another part of letting go, and that is letting go of old habits, old patterns, behaviors, letting go of your old life, essentially, to get into your new one. Not all of it. You're not letting go of all of it, but you're letting go of certain aspects of it. It's not always smooth. It's not always easy because change is hard in general. This is what it looks like. It looks like things falling apart and then coming back together. It starts small. If you notice, like a lot of the things with growing starts small and then it builds up to something bigger. You know, it starts with letting go of certain aspects that don't align with who you want to be. Meaning, if you're a people pleaser and you don't want to be a pushover anymore. Perfectionism, we talked about that. Building better habits like taking care of yourself, your hygiene, if you smoke or drink, or if that's your vice, you know, not being so dependent on escaping your reality, letting go of things like that. But it also ties into letting go of people as well. I know you've probably heard the saying, everybody can't go with you. And that is completely 100% true. Not everybody is ready to grow. Not everybody is ready to face themselves and take accountability and do the hard part to get to where they need to be. Not everyone is ready for that. Not everybody has the capacity to understand that that's what they need to do, or maybe they are aware of it and they just don't want to change. There will be instances where you outgrow people, you outgrow spaces, you outgrow environments, and you have to pivot. And it seems random, it seems nonsensical, it doesn't make sense at the time. I promise you, when I say life is not happening to you, it's happening for you. Everything is working out in your favor, even if it doesn't seem like it. Everything happens for a reason. So when you're going through that change, it can seem like everything is falling apart, but I promise you, you're just making room for better in your life. I feel like I sound like a broken record when I speak about this story because I've mentioned it in the last 2 interviews that I did. I'll link them down below if you want to read them. It was so nonsensical. It did not make sense. Everything felt like it was going wrong. And I was not having a great time. I was not having a great time. And keep in mind, like, these changes are not going to be emotionally easy. You're not going to be smiling through the changes. It's going to be painful. They're called growing pains for a reason. You know what I'm saying? You gotta like get through it. The only way out is through, and what's on the other side is so much better for you. It's what is needed for what you asked for. So I'll talk about my most recent big shift that really catapulted my life into a new reality that I never even expected or imagined for myself, but it was where I needed to be. When things were falling apart, I was like, man, there must be something big on the other side of this, because what? It started late August or around August 2023, and it went until early 2025. I had my little car. It was a used car. It would constantly have problems and stuff like that. And I was commuting maybe an hour or so to work. Atlanta drivers suck. Georgia drivers suck, okay? I remember my car like broke down or whatever, and I had to put a repair on it, and it cost $1,400. It cost $1,400. That was not fun. And shortly after I got my baby all fixed, someone did a hit and run. Love that. It was not my fault. It was this big Ford truck, and I was turning left, and they were in the straight lane, and then all of a sudden they decided they wanted to turn left and didn't see my car, so they just hit it. That was fun. And then I tried to chase them down, and they evaded me, and I was like, you know what, I don't have time for this. My car is still drivable. I'm not finna hunt you down. I gotta go to work. Like, I don't have time for this. I can't afford this. I literally cannot. I don't know car terminology, but the front part, it was hanging, it's leaning, she looked like this. And then shortly after that, I was turning left again. I love a left turn. I was in the correct lane, and this person decided they wanted to switch over mid-turn and just hit me from the side, scraped it all up on the side. So my door was kind of caved in. It didn't open, actually. It didn't open. So I had to crawl through the passenger side to drive the car. That was fun, but it was still drivable, and I was still grateful that I had a car and I could get to work, because at this time, again, I was working 2 jobs, and for one of them I had to drive like an hour away, so I needed my car. But what came with that was the insurance covering. They actually stayed, so it wasn't a hit and run, so the insurance kind of covered the cost of the car, or they were supposed to. But because it was a used car and the damages were more than it was worth, they considered it a total loss. So I lost my car. Luckily, I had my dad's truck, so I could drive that, but that thing eats up gas like nobody's business. It was not ideal to be traveling an hour away, 3 times a week. It was sad. It was, I felt like I couldn't go to events that I used to go to. I couldn't see my friends like I used to, because, again, that thing would eat up gas, and I could not afford it. I could not afford to go anywhere else but work and home. That was the first thing that happened, and then it's kind of a long story, but long story short, I had to find another job to get it. I wanted a new car. I didn't want to settle for a used car again, because I know how much it took to repair it and how much it went through and how much it broke down. So I wanted a new car, but I did not have the income to afford that. So I was looking for different jobs, and jobs that paid more, and like a big girl, like 9 to 5, full time. Because I was working 2 part-time jobs. One where I could be ultimately independent from my mom. My mom tried to get me a new car, but it wasn't in her budget, so I had to step up and do what I had to do. And it was a lot of rejection, a lot of no's, a lot of, usual job stuff. But it was hitting a little different this time, because I'm like, I hate the situation I'm in. I hate the situation I'm in. But, God was working. And shout out to Emily, the person who put me onto my job now. I learned the power of connection and the power of networking and talking to people. You never know who's watching, right? So she basically watched me and how I did my job, and she saw how drained I was, and she was just like, you know what, send me your resume. I'll talk to my people, and I'll get you into this job so you can make more money. And then, I ended up getting my car. But what came with that, is the people aspect. At the time, I was hanging around some people that God did not want me to be around. So God swiftly removed those people from my life. But it was not an easy thing. Like, it was something I was attached to. It was something I wanted in my life that I thought I would keep forever, or at least for a very, very long time. And God said, nope, I see what's going on. These are not your people for real. So got escorted out of that, but that just made completely no sense to me. Like, things were falling into place. I had the job, I had the car, and then God removed those people from my life, and I was like, what? I was like, no, my community. I felt like I lost my sense of community, but no, I did not. I was just making room for better people to come into my life and better things to present itself, and better opportunities and people who are really for me, you know, to be in my life. With the job, I had more income, I had the job, I had the car, and early 2025 is when God was like, hey, you're still driving like an hour 30 to work. Yes, I was driving an hour 30 to work, still 3 times a week. God was like, yeah, so you need to move. So that's how I got this apartment. I moved because of convenience, because I needed to save on time. I started to realize, like, okay, I'm making the money, but now my time is not there. I can always make more money, but my time I can never get back. So something had to shift. Again, that's how I ended up in this apartment. And it just kind of fell into place that way. So if that did not happen in 2023, I would not be sitting here in my own apartment, you know, independent from my mom, which is what I asked for, right? I asked for that. I asked to be independent from my mom. God said, yeah, here you go. This is how you get independent. Trusting the process is really, really huge. It's going to feel like everything is going wrong, but please trust. It's going to look ugly before it looks beautiful. It's going to get worse before it gets better. If you think about healing in general, if you get a cut, it's going to get worse. It's going to scar up and look ugly before it gets better, and it heals, and it looks like a healed scar, and it looks like skin again. There's this one quote that just kept me going throughout the entire process. It says, everything that you're going through is preparing you for what you asked for. Again, life is always working for you. It's not happening to you. When you're aware of that, you start to realize that it hurts now, but it's gonna work out in the end. It's gonna get better. And it always is for a reason. Transitions aren't always chaotic. Transitions aren't always painful. They can be smooth too. And you can trust that as well. You know, if it is smooth, if it is a little bit easier than what you've experienced before, but it feels right and it feels divine and you know it's aligned, then it's yours. Like, God prepared that for you. Nobody can take that away from you. And you did the groundwork to get to that place. You built that foundation to get to that place. So of course it's going to go smooth because you did what you were supposed to do. Right now I'm currently going through a shift I don't really understand. It's been a little bit heavy. It's been a little bit intense. All I know is to keep showing up and to keep going and to trust the process again. I'm going to continue to show up for myself and my future self as well. Yeah, I don't really know what's going on right now. I'm going through a period of just intense emotions and heaviness, but something is coming. I know something is coming, so I'm hanging in there. I'm being grateful and I'm trying to find joy throughout my days. Keeping the joy alive is definitely key through these phases. If you're not understanding what's going on, just do what feels right, what feels comfortable. We talked about this in the comfort zones video. Like, just go back to comfort. When you're trying to have a better life for yourself, when you're actively growing and trying to better yourself, expect for things to fall apart sometimes. It truly is just a part of the process, and it will all make sense eventually. Thank you for showing up here. Thank you for watching. Again, thank you, Avarunkus, for the background music. And if you wanted to connect more, I'm on Instagram at nebreeska, and you can follow my modeling journey over there. And again, I'll continue to show up here, and I hope you continue to show up as well. If not for me, then for yourself. I will see you next time. Hopefully, I'll see you in the next video.